how do you think David Benavidez would fare against Canelo Alvarez in this fight after seeing how he, struggled a little bit the same way Canelo Alvarez did with Plant, but he wound up, piecing David Benavidez up. Piecing Caleb Plant up pretty well.
After watching the fight between him and Plant, my opinion is it'll be a great fight, and I can't wait till it's made. I think it'll make huge pay-per-view numbers, but I would lean towards Canelo, man. I think Canelo, the thing with Plant is he just didn't have the power. I said it when I made my prediction. I said at some point in that fight, Plant is going to have to sit down and get David Benavidez respect. And I think around the 9th or 10th round, he kind of sat down and he tried to pick punches together and he tried to go to him, but it was like his punches were getting stuck and it wasn't really stopping Benavidez in his tracks. He was kind of just walking through it or pretty much grazing him off. So he couldn't get that respect from David. So he wore him out trying to keep him off of him by the 9th and 10th round. Canelo's not going to have that problem. Canelo's going to drop bombs on David, and he's going to make David back up on top of being able to counterpunch on David Benavidez. I think David Benavidez hand speed, and I think he'll have his moments, but I think if he comes with his same style to me that he used with Plant, and when in every other fight, I still need to see another dimension to David Benavidez for me to consider him to be a Canelo type fighter, because to me, he's great at what he do, but I still see that he's kind of straight up and down. He don't have too many wrinkles to his game. And I think with Canelo, you got to have a plan A, B, and C in order to beat Canelo in a fight.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's going to be the battle of the stationary targets, though. I think both of these guys, when it comes to their footwork anyway, Canelo has very, very great waist movement. He has great head movement, probably the best in the game, in my honest opinion, when it comes to his upper body movement. David Benavidez doesn't have that. He's going to have a superior reach and height advantage, though. But at the same time, David Benavidez has a great parry and block game. His defense is all about hand blocking, leaning back out of range, and pretty much his counter punching, like you said, is pretty much his defense when it comes to slowing down his opponents and his hand speed. So I want to see what happens when you match hand speed with Canelo Alvarez and you match the defensive acumen of Canelo Alvarez. Because like you said, both guys by nature are counter punchers. But when it comes to initiating offense, I would get the slight edge in the inside, of course, to Canelo Alvarez, and I would get, of course, the edge to David Benavidez on the mid to outer range. So it all depends on how David Benavidez want to fight, because David Benavidez want to stay behind his jab and stay behind his right hand and straights. He might have more success with Canelo a little bit just because of the height and reach, and then bang on the inside when he need to. But that's not his style. His style is he's flat-footed, so he's going to go in there and try to throw punches and bunches and lance on the Canelo, which, in my opinion, it could be dangerous. It could be very dangerous. He could be in the warehouse too long. And like I said, while he does have good hand checking and great hand defense, he has underrated defense. Canelo Alvarez is probably one of the best body punchers in the game, and on top of that, he's one of the most accurate punches in the game. So I'm gonna say the same faults I saw that Breadman saw against Caleb Plant, that Caleb Plant was taking advantage of early, up until he gassed, will be the same game plan I see Canelo going in there with. But Canelo, in my opinion, has a more devastating left foot than Plant, and he has more wrinkles to the game when it comes to landing that left foot. Because in my honest opinion, Caleb Plant kind of came in here with the same style he came in there with the rail. He tried to do the same double hook combination to David Benavidez. He didn't try to hide it well or nothing. He kind of just went in there and was looking for it. So that's one thing I think that a lot of people don't see. I kind of criticize Plant for that. I kind of criticize Breadman for that as well. Like you got different wrinkles in the game, especially somebody who can watch film on you. But as far as we know who's the more proven fighter. We know Canelo Alvarez by a landslide is more proven than David Benavidez. But why do you think a lot of fans are still picking David Benavidez to upset Canelo? You think it's possible the age and the wars that Canelo been, or you think it's just recency bias and the recent opponents of Canelo Alvarez?
I think, like I said, I don't think it's a landslide. I think it's a very close fight. So I don't have a problem with nobody picking David Benavidez. I think, like I said, and I think the reason they are picking him because he is the more fresh fighter. He is the fighter that hasn't never lost. He is the fighter that hasn't really been in too many wars. Even with the Plant fight, he wasn't battered in that fight. And even after the fight, he didn't have a bruise or anything on him. He pretty much was clean after the fight. So he haven't been in wars like a Canelo Alvarez. And like you said, Canelo getting up there in age, man. His body is breaking down. Like you said, he's already had knee problems. And they saying that, you know, outside the ring, he's starting to do different things, supposedly. But I won't jump into that because that's just rumors. But you can tell Canelo is starting to slow down. And that's to be expected. So you got a guy that's slowly progressing and getting better. And you got a guy that's on the decline. It makes for an interesting fight and a close fight. So yeah, I can see why people picking David Benavidez. I just think that Canelo just got too many wrinkles and too many different dimensions to his game that David Benavidez is not going to be able to figure out over 12 rounds. But I think David Benavidez could prove me wrong. I would not be surprised. No, he's definitely the Mexican monster.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I do lean more towards him than anybody else beating Canelo, in my honest opinion. The only people I see beating Canelo are people who are bigger than him. That's in, you know, higher divisions. Yeah, 175 and up. That's the only people I see actually beating Canelo at this point, other than David Benavidez. And I have to see. I know a lot of people still high on that Charlo train, but I haven't seen Charlo in a while. And the last time I seen Charlo, it was against a lackluster opponent, in my opinion. So, yeah, I agree with you, man. I think Canelo Alvarez, why he should be picked because of his work rate, his work experience. Not work rate, but his work experience. I will say that David Benavidez, man, is the same way I thought about Canelo playing against him. I think David Benavidez will be a live underdog because I do think he will be the underdog by Vegas standards in that fight because of everything Canelo has done. But I think Canelo Alvarez is scared of David Benavidez the way the market is trying to portray it? Because it seems like a lot of people are asking the questions to David Benavidez in his camp and asking, do you think Canelo Alvarez is scared of you? Do you think Canelo Alvarez is terrified to get in the ring with you? And it seems like David Benavidez is starting to bleed that hype when you watch his recent interviews. He's starting to drink that Kool-Aid a little bit. He's starting to think that Canelo Alvarez may be a little bit scared of me and I am the shit. So do you think Canelo Alvarez is scared of David Benavidez? Or do you think that Canelo Alvarez is kind of just doing what he always do, which is just be who Canelo is?
Canelo's doing what he always do. I mean, I don't think Canelo is scared of nobody at this stage. I think he's just waiting for the right moment in the right situation to take advantage and make it the most lucrative fight that he can make it. And I think right now, he let that fight marinate, and now it's the biggest fight. It's bigger. That fight is huge now. Like, Canelo's gonna make $40 to $45 million for that fight now. You know, I think he made $40 million for the plant fight. So I know he's gonna make more than that. So he did the right thing. You know what I mean? He made sure that Benavidez proved himself. Now Benavidez is a star. He's risen to stardom. So now you have two stars that are Mexican descent, and now you have a huge pay-per-view event. So I think Canelo played it perfectly. Now I think after this Ryder fight, I think that should be his next fight. I don't have a problem with him fighting that guy, but I think at this stage Canelo don't have time to waste. He needs to get in there with David Benavidez and get that fight on. And I think after watching the fight with Plant, he probably got more confidence to me that he probably can beat him in that fight.